For the first time in a long time, I don't know what to yap about. I have to make a video and my well of talking has run dry. What do? I ask you guys. You guys are funny, and I got suggestions like Skibbity Fortnite 48-hour listening challenge max volume. Why do you want me to suffer this badly? Rumi. And a few of you suggested Alpha TikTok, the bread and butter of commentary. You know what's fun? Picking apart silly ideas at best and harmful ideologies at worst to validate their weird behavior.
You do not have to accept her rejection.
But that's not what I got when I searched Alpha on TikTok. It's not what I got at all. It's not Gen Alpha TikTok. Not yet. I stumbled upon a war right now where Gen Alpha is actually making fun of Gen Z for being cringe, and if you don't know why that's important, well, it's not. But it is painfully ironic because not too long ago there was and is a war on like Gen Z making fun of millennials for being cringe. And don't get me wrong, they are.
Gen Z's trying to cancel Eminem? Honey, that's cute. Listen, little kitties, let me make this quite clear. This man was around even before you were here. So what, you're all mad because the man was a lyricist while all your rappers are mumbling gibberish?
There's a whole genre of TikTok now with Gen Z mocking millennialisms and humor.
When
I popped off, then your girl gave me just a little.
Get ready with me to go to Target. I would like to preface this by saying I have never done a GRWM in my life.
First, we must have our strawberries because I need it a lot.
And I have partaken in this because I couldn't resist. Not to be that guy or girl, derp, but methinks that's wrong. If you're not Ravenclaw crunchy plant mom taking care of your puppers and doggos, until I've had my coffee, don't talk to me. One of the things people are talking about are how Gen Alpha's obsession with aesthetics has led to a lot of confusion on what preppy means in fashion, where previously it might have meant something like this, but now it just means like colorful, fun outfits. And people are really confused about this, and as someone who is fashion illiterate, obviously, I get it. I don't think this is a reach.
When I say aesthetic, it means like beige.
At Target with my Gen Alpha daughter, we're gonna see what she calls everything. Apparently this is preppy.
This is also considered old money, and again, I have no argument against this.
What is that style?
I would call that preppy in the 90s or old money.
Old money. You would call this old money.
Yeah, old money.
Crap, you're not wrong.
This might have been preppy back in the 90s like she says, but she's not wrong about it being old money. This look is large white family renting out a golf course for Christmas, and if that's not old money, I don't know what is. We also got cottagecore, a very popular look when I played Minecraft more.
No, that's more coquette. That's cottagecore.
They're the same shirt.
And Livy, Olivia Rodrigo core. Again, she's not wrong.
This one's Livy. It's Olivia Rodrigo vibes.
People were coming after her mom's parenting under this video, which I found so strange. It's just clothing, dude. Relax. TikTok has no short of people taking the most unserious things and taking them very seriously. But I'm being serious about today's sponsor, Opera, the browser. I like Opera because it has a built-in VPN, ad blocker, screenshot function, battery saver if you're working on a laptop, so it feels way less clunky without all of those third-party extensions. It's easy to organize everything in Opera as they have workspaces to keep personal and work-related separate spaces so that you don't have to open a new window, which makes it easy to switch between them. You can have tab island, so when you have 40 tabs open of Skibbity Toilet parts 1 through 36, they can be tucked away for when you need them. Aria is their built-in AI that's helpful for asking quick questions as I'm researching, like, what is the Rizzler? And it's connected to the web for real-time information. The sidebar includes every messenger you could ever think of, which is so convenient, but if you're trying to lock in and focus, you can easily hide it. If you're on the internet, turns out you might already be using a browser, but they make it super easy to switch by being able to import everything from your old browser. Bookmarks and such things, all with the click of a few buttons. You can also set your own wallpaper in there. So yeah, that's awesome sauce. Download Opera today Anyway, link is in the description. Clicking that link will let them know that I sent you. I want them to know that I sent you. Thanks. But a more serious concern arose when places like Sephora are being taken over by literal tweens. 10 to 13-year-olds we're talking. If you haven't seen, Sephoras are being overrun by children ruining sample products and stealing sample brushes and stuff to make Sephora cocktails, where they just mix a bunch of products into one, which is disgusting and ruins the experience for everyone else going to Sephora. I don't need to tell you why this sucks. This is like when you'd go to Friendly's after school with a bunch of your friends and you'd put shit like ketchup, mayo, salt, pepper packets, and cream and various sauces into someone's water and make your own version of a disgusting cocktail, and then force your friend to take a sip for no reason. Just for no reason. Making disgusting cocktails as children is a tale as old as time. For that I will give them some grace, but those drinks were only terrorizing our friends, and this is terrorizing the general public at an adult makeup store for adults. Where is your mother? Supporting this?
My daughter found out Olga has drunk elephant and cries screaming for me to buy her everything from them. Lord help me, girls are expensive.
Oh. Okay. Why is this happening? A lot of people think it's because of the lack of third places, you know, like malls, libraries, places where kids can just hang out to be kids. Go outside, they say. Well, if you live somewhere like Florida, not happening. American cities are overpopulated and underhoused, largely built for cars and not pedestrians. I wouldn't feel safe leaving a kid to walk around anywhere by themselves outside of the neighborhood. And have you been to a mall lately? I have, and it was scary, okay? It felt like a wasteland. I felt like I was in an abandoned Chuck E. Cheese. Confederate flag and everything. People don't go to malls anymore. It's just jewelry stores and tumbleweed. Yes, Claire's still exists, and so do their ear infections as soon as you get your ears pierced. But kids don't want their kid stuff and kid jewelry and kid makeup anymore. They want Drunk Elephant and their colorful branding that have ingredients like retinol in them. That was a little aggressive, I'm sorry. Retinol, derogatory. An ingredient that is meant for reducing wrinkles and promoting collagen production. At 10 years old? And they want whatever coquette is. I had to look that up. It's whatever this is. Why are we putting everything in a box? This doesn't look any different than preppy to me. I don't know. Drunk Elephant has kind of doubled down on this, and I do wish they stated more clearly that their products are not for children and children should not use them. It is and should be the responsibility of the parents to not buy their kids this stuff or give them the $74 it costs to get something like this. I'm all for spoiling your children and giving them nice things if you're fortunate enough to do so, but how about something like this? Or may I interest you in this? How about that? And a lot of these trends, of course, are caused by TikTok, a place where adults and children and the government don't get along. That's where you get all the trends now. This is revolutionary information. Did you think you were gonna hear that in this video? Hey, TikTok, we got trends over here. When Gen Z and older were kids, we got our trends from curated places like Disney or Jade 14 or whatever that magazine was that provided ginormous posters of Justin Bieber for your bedroom to watch over you as you sleep. Now these worlds are so integrated that Skibbity Toilet is permeating my life to the point where I kind of think it's good. This is actually funny. And it's not that different, okay? We used to listen to Pen Pineapple Pen whatever, and the Gummy Bear song and whatever bullshit this was. I don't know. It's not that different. Gen Alpha humor is largely TikTok brain rot, as they're calling it. I'm not calling it that. I'm not calling it that. Don't get me wrong, this is peak humor. I'll just give you a snippet.
Sticking out your yacht for the Rizzler. You're so skibbity. You're so Phantom Tax.
I should also at least mention that it's also crazy that they use language from other communities like Slay and then gatekeep it, thinking they have the authority to let us know when it's no longer cool to say it. I don't want to harp on that point because they're literally children, but I just know that it's a thing that people are gonna bring up. Gen Z is now making stitches of Gen Alpha content that I can only describe as like, look at what the kids are doing these days. When I was a kid, I spent my time outside and I did silly little innocent things, and now Gen Alpha is wearing makeup and making inappropriate TikToks for their age. People have been complaining about the younger generation looking older and wanting to act older forever. This is not new.
Is it a serve? Is it a sleigh? Where'd you get that fucking checker print rug your Amazon storefront?
Spell restaurant.
Your outfit is so cute today. It's such a slay. You still say slay? You're a grandma. You're a grandma. Spell restaurant.
They're not wrong. I think Gen Alpha has largely become more illiterate of a generation. That pains me to say. But it's just so funny because this is exactly what millennials did to Gen Z, and now Gen Z is turning around and doing the exact same thing. Being angry at the younger generation for coming after them for being cringe.
When I popped
You're obsessed with us millennials.
Hubby banned me from Starbucks.
Millennial core, really? Millennials do that?
I thought that the millennial pause.
Millennial core, is that your aesthetic? I'm flattered.
Time is a flat circle and history repeats itself constantly.
My doggos think I'm pretty swag. Shouldn't you?
Ma'am, are you really trying to make fun of millennials? When your generation doesn't even know proper sentences?
I'm Riz. I'm Riz.
Boomers did this to millennials, you know, they had beef. I would bet that boomers' parents did this to boomers when they were kids, listening to sinful music like the Beatles and showing their shoulders. I don't know where Gen X fits in all of this. I feel like they're kind of an elusive generation. Where are they? I don't know. All I got is what? Joe Rogan, Elon Musk. That's all I can think of. You guys were probably doing crazy shit in the 80s too that older generation complained about, like Dungeons and Dragons, hair metal, and doing cocaine. I'm not here to start a generational war. I think other people got that covered. Some of these videos were clearly for fun and wholesome.
All right, first thing, how do you answer the phone? How do you hang up the phone?
And some of them poke fun at other generations, like without like a mean streak, you know? Like, this is all fun and games here. We're all in on the joke.
Is that coffee? Hashtag goals. Oh, I was just taking a boomerang. Savage. Sticking out your jack for the Rizzler.
But some people are getting genuinely heated. They're like 10. Calm down. Millennials are old enough to be their parents. Also, like, these are middle schoolers. They're objectively not cool. Why are you giving them unlimited power? Within reason, let them have their little thing like we did growing up.
Sticking out your yacht for the Rizzler.
I saw this TikTok of someone saying that generations generally consume the content of the generation before them. Like how growing up, millennials generally consumed content created by Gen X, Gen Z consumed content created by millennials, and Gen Alpha is consuming content from Gen Z and so on. And I think that's true, of course, while also consuming content created by people their own age.
When you're a kid, internet culture sort of trickles down to you from the older generations, and most of Gen Alpha isn't even old enough to be on social media right now. But when they get older, we will see Gen Alpha start to form their own culture. When it comes time to pass the torch to Gen Alpha, which will probably happen kind of soon, I hope that Gen Z can be, like, chill about it.
Gen Z adopted the idea of the content creator, right? When we know an internet before the creator. Gen Alpha will not know an internet without a creator. So it will lead them to resent it or have this kind of like...
It's the status quo,
fatigue.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, it's everybody does it, so I don't.
But I think a greater look at this really shows how trend windows are getting shorter and shorter. Gen Z is such a nostalgic generation in terms of fashion and media. To the point where we're now nostalgic for things that we made on TikTok in 2020. That was 4 years ago. Like, what are we doing? The things people used to be nostalgic for are things that are like 10, 20 years old. But now we're feeling nostalgic about things that happened literally 6 months ago. I just realized. Things are moving so fast because of TikTok and the influx of influencers and creators. How am I supposed to be a clean girl aesthetic queen when next month I'm supposed to be a mob boss, croquette, skibbity aesthetic Riz queen? Your Honor, it's impossible to slay under these conditions. The bird that made billions of childhoods. I can't even remember the last time I heard that bird. Today's kids will never know the impact.
I just found the early 2000s bird, you know, the summer bird.
Excuse me? The early 2000s bird? It's a mourning dove. The early 2000s bird. You know, they've been around like before that. True, I haven't heard it in years. Bro, I miss that noise. It feels so rare. That's crazy. Mourning doves? They're gone. They're extinct. We don't have them anymore. They don't exist anymore. They only existed from the years 2000 to 2009 and they're gone. They don't make birds the same anymore. Why are there so many? When you realize this sound is nostalgic because these birds went extinct in 2020 and they're officially a 2000s baby's memory now? You know you can still go outside, right? To a point, we need to end nostalgia. I'm over it. This is ridiculous. Believe it or not, we still have birds. And now people are confused about being a cusper between Gen Z and Gen Alpha. None of this matters at all. I was born when I was born. And who gives a fuck? I could be wrong, but I feel like generations used to idolize, to a degree, the older generation. Like, I'd look at my big sister and think she's so cool and I want to do everything she does and consume the media she does because she's older than me. But today, people's little siblings are calling them cringe. If you donate $5 today, you could adopt a Gen Z person and end the war on Gen Alpha versus Gen Z. Very important. And you could save them. If you donate $5 today, you'll get a little postcard in the mail with their face on it and like a little bio on the back. Like a pen pal. But you don't talk to them, you just give them money. And you get to look at their face. Sign up today. It's just a sign of the times, and while I am worried for Gen Alpha not knowing how to spell restaurant, I'm not their mom. Anyway, don't forget to mew so hard your hand slips on that skibbity subscribe button so we can get to 1 million subscribers. And impress the Rizzler baby Gronk grimace shake skibbity toilet. Bye.